In the 1940s, American automakers were producing cars with engines that were far from reliable or powerful. The economic constraints of the time, paired with the impact of World War II, left many low-income car buyers stuck with subpar engines that were prone to breakdowns and generally unpleasant to drive. Here are 10 of the most frustrating engines from the 1940s that budget-conscious Americans had no choice but to endure.
Dear viewer, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your support.
Number 10, 1948 Nash 600. 1948 Nash 600 was one of the first American cars promoted for its efficiency and economical operation, even earning its name 600 from Nash's claim that it could travel 600 miles on a single tank. This was quite a feat for the time and marketed the car as an economical choice for post-war America, where cost savings and fuel efficiency were desirable. However, despite its forward-thinking design and fuel economy claims, the 172 cubic inch 2.8-liter inline-six engine was hampered by several performance and reliability issues, including frequent stalling, carburetor problems, and sluggish performance. While it was innovative in concept, the Nash 600's engine challenges led to a less-than-ideal ownership experience. The Nash 600 was revolutionary for its unibody construction, which was a lighter, integrated body and frame design as opposed to the traditional body-on-frame. This gave it an edge in fuel efficiency and aerodynamics, helping it stand out from the bulkier cars of its time. Targeted at a market emerging from wartime austerity, the Nash 600 appealed to consumers seeking a practical, economical, and reasonably priced vehicle. With promises of great mileage and affordability, the Nash 600 was seen as a car that could deliver both modern design and savings on fuel costs. The 172 cubic inch 2.8-liter inline-six engine was relatively small, especially compared to larger engines available at the time. Designed with fuel economy in mind, it provided just enough power to navigate basic driving conditions. However, it quickly became evident that this engine wasn't ideal for situations requiring quicker acceleration or more power. This engine produced around 82 horsepower, which was adequate for lighter, city-based driving, but felt underpowered during highway driving or when accelerating from a stop. The engine's modest power output meant it wasn't equipped to handle high speeds, which limited its use to mostly city and suburban driving. While it aimed to provide efficient performance, the 172 inline-six was tuned more for fuel savings than power, a balance that would ultimately make it frustrating for owners who needed more versatile performance capabilities. One of the most frustrating issues for Nash 600 owners was the engine's tendency to stall, especially when starting from idle or when transitioning from a stop. Stalling could happen without warning and was particularly common in colder temperatures or after the car had been sitting for a while. For a vehicle marketed as dependable and economical, this frequent stalling problem impacted reliability significantly. Owners had to deal with repeated restarts and, at times, lengthy troubleshooting to get the car running smoothly, which defeated the purpose of having a cost-effective vehicle. The carburetor on the 17.2 inline-six was prone to issues that caused poor fuel-air mixture, leading to rough idling, inconsistent performance, and even more stalling. Owners often had to make frequent adjustments and even clean or rebuild the carburetor to maintain optimal performance. Ironically, the carburetor problems often negated Nash's fuel efficiency claims. With an inefficient or poorly adjusted carburetor, the Nash 600 struggled to meet its promised mileage, and fuel consumption could be significantly higher than advertised, leading to increased operating costs. The constant need to tune or adjust the carburetor meant that the Nash 600 required more maintenance than most drivers expected. Many owners grew frustrated with the time and expense required to keep the engine running smoothly, which clashed with the low-maintenance image Nash had promoted. With only 82 horsepower, the 17.2 inline-six struggled to provide the performance needed for situations requiring rapid acceleration. Highway driving, passing, and driving on inclines were challenging, and the car's overall sluggishness was a letdown, especially in an era where road speeds and expectations for power were increasing. For drivers who needed reliable acceleration or who lived in areas with hills or varied terrain, The Nash 600's engine performance was inadequate. Many owners reported that the engine felt particularly strained during high-demand driving, which led to dissatisfaction and a feeling that the car wasn't up to par for long-distance or heavy-load driving. The 1948 Nash 600 and its 172 inline-six engine were ambitious in concept but flawed in execution. The car's tendency to stall, frequent carburetor problems, and sluggish performance made it a challenging ownership experience, despite its promise of efficiency and cost savings. For today's automotive historians and enthusiasts, the Nash 600 is a reminder of the struggles faced by post-war automakers as they sought to provide innovative, economical options to a changing market. While it didn't deliver on all of its promises, the Nash 600 remains a notable chapter in the evolution of fuel-efficient car design. Number 9, 1941 Studebaker Commander. 1941. Studebaker Commander was a car aimed at offering affordability with a touch of sophistication for the average American family. Positioned between economy models and higher-end vehicles, the Commander sought to appeal to buyers looking for a reliable and stylish car without the premium price tag. However, the 226 cubic inch, 3.7-liter, inline-six engine under the hood proved problematic for owners, particularly low-income families who sought minimal maintenance costs. The Commander's engine was known for overheating issues, power deficiencies, and valve problems, all of which diminished its appeal as an affordable option. The 1941 Commander was marketed as a practical yet attractive choice, a vehicle designed to combine affordability with modest style. Studebaker hoped it would appeal to middle-class buyers who wanted more than the bare essentials in a car without stretching their budgets too thin. This model was particularly popular among budget-conscious buyers. For families or individuals on tighter incomes, the Commander appeared to offer a reasonable balance between price, aesthetics, and utility, but its engine issues made it a source of frustration for many. The 226 cubic inch, 3.7-liter inline-six was a straightforward, low-cost engine intended to provide enough power for city and light highway driving. It was designed for durability in principle, but engineering limitations meant it wasn't ideal for sustained heavy use or high-speed travel. Producing around 87 horsepower, this engine provided basic power. However, it fell short of what was needed for a car of the Commander's size and weight, particularly for situations involving acceleration or heavy loads, leading to underwhelming performance overall. This inline-six design prioritized low manufacturing costs over raw power, but the engine's inefficiencies led to frequent mechanical issues and underwhelming performance, disappointing owners who expected reliability. One of the most significant issues was the engine's inability to stay cool. The cooling system was insufficient, particularly on warm days or during extended drives, leading to frequent overheating. This problem became especially concerning as the car aged, with cooling issues worsening over time. Overheating wasn't just an inconvenience. It often led to severe engine wear if left unchecked. For many low-income owners, the cost of addressing these cooling issues added an unexpected financial burden, particularly as frequent repairs were needed. This overheating issue led to considerable frustration, as drivers had to stop frequently to allow the engine to cool. This not only affected convenience, but also eroded confidence in the car's reliability. With only 87 horsepower, the 226 inline-six struggled to deliver adequate performance for the Commander's weight. Acceleration was slow, and the engine felt strained during tasks such as climbing hills or carrying additional passengers, which limited the car's practicality. Many drivers found the Commander's sluggish performance frustrating, particularly when trying to keep up with faster-moving traffic or maintain speed on inclines. The lack of power also made the car unsuitable for more demanding driving scenarios, which were becoming more common as road systems expanded. Valve issues were a common complaint, with some owners reporting premature valve wear or failure. This required regular adjustments, which added to the maintenance burden and cost for owners who had limited budgets. For a car marketed as affordable, the Commander required frequent upkeep, particularly around the engine. Between cooling, valve, and power issues, the 226 inline-six needed constant attention, making it a frustrating ownership experience. especially for those without the means to afford frequent service. The 1941 Studebaker Commander and its 226 inline-six represent the challenges that manufacturers face when trying to balance affordability with reliability and performance. While the car was affordable up front, the costs of frequent repairs and performance limitations made it a burden for many owners. The Commander's engine flaws illustrate the risks of cost-cutting in critical components, such as cooling and power, especially when marketing to budget-conscious buyers. Studebaker's reputation was affected by the Commander's shortcomings, as buyers seeking affordable reliability found the car to be underwhelming and costly over time. The Commander serves as a reminder of the importance of aligning marketing promises with engineering realities, particularly when addressing the needs of low-income consumers. The 1941 Studebaker Commander and its 226 inline-six engine stand as a symbol of missed potential in mid-century automotive design, though well-intentioned in its goal to provide affordable transportation. Number 8, 1947 Kaiser Fraser. 1947. Kaiser Fraser was introduced as a symbol of post-World War II optimism and innovation in American car manufacturing. Kaiser Fraser, a new player in the industry, aimed to provide modern, reliable transportation for families eager to embrace peacetime prosperity. However, despite its progressive styling and strong initial reception, the Fraser's 226 cubic inch, 3.7-liter, inline-six engine became a notable weak point. Plagued by weak performance, oil leaks, and persistent valve issues, this engine struggled to meet the needs of its owners, especially those on tight budgets who could not afford frequent repairs. Kaiser Fraser entered the automotive industry with high ambitions, aiming to provide innovative and affordable cars. The 1947 Fraser was one of the first post-war designs, boasting sleek, modern styling that departed from pre-war aesthetics. The car was aimed at middle-class families, with promises of cutting-edge design and engineering. Kaiser Fraser sought to stand out from the Big Three, Ford, GM, and Chrysler, by delivering a car that balanced style with practical functionality. The 226 cubic inch inline-six was a standard choice for mid-size sedans of the time. It provided basic power and was supposed to ensure a smooth driving experience. However, its design and components were relatively simple, which impacted its overall durability and performance. This engine produced approximately 100 horsepower, which was marginally sufficient for regular city driving, but lacked the vigor needed for more demanding driving conditions. The engine's limited power output became a significant drawback, particularly for families driving on highways or in hilly regions. While it was a straightforward, affordable engine, its weaknesses reflected Kaiser Fraser's focus on getting cars to market quickly, rather than fine-tuning engineering details to ensure durability and power. Producing only around 100 horsepower, the 226 inline-six was often described as underwhelming in terms of performance. For a car that carried the weight and bulk of the Fraser, the engine lacked the power needed for smooth acceleration or maintaining speed under load. On inclines, or when carrying multiple passengers, the engine's weaknesses became apparent. This lack of power was frustrating for owners who expected a practical family car, only to find that it struggled with the most basic tasks, such as merging onto highways or ascending hills. The lack of power also led to occasional stalling, which became particularly inconvenient in situations like heavy city traffic or on inclines. This issue added another layer of frustration for owners seeking a dependable, easy-driving vehicle. One of the most problematic issues for the 226 inline-six was its tendency to leak oil. Over time, gaskets and seals would wear out, leading to persistent oil seepage that required regular attention and expense. Constant oil leaks not only increased maintenance costs, but also led to excessive wear on engine components if not addressed promptly. For low-income buyers, these additional maintenance costs were a financial burden and undermined the engine's intended reliability. The oil leakage issue became a hallmark problem, discouraging potential buyers who heard about the frequent repairs and maintenance demands associated with the Fraser. Frequent valve issues plagued the engine, with some owners reporting premature wear that required replacement or adjustment. This was especially problematic for an engine that was expected to be low maintenance. Valve malfunctions affected the engine's overall performance, causing misfires and rough idling. These issues led to inconsistent performance and detracted from the driving experience, especially at higher speeds where engine smoothness is crucial. For owners, especially those with limited incomes, the cost of constant valve maintenance and adjustments became prohibitive. This recurring issue made it hard to rely on the Fraser as a long-term investment and added to the frustration of owning a car with already limited performance. The 1947 Fraser and its 226 inline-six engine illustrate the challenges that new automakers face when trying to balance innovation with reliability. While the car's design was forward-thinking, its engine's limitations proved a serious flaw, ultimately damaging Kaiser Fraser's brand reputation. The 1947 Fraser highlights the importance of strong engineering foundations, especially when creating a product marketed toward budget-conscious families. While the car was intended to meet the needs of everyday drivers, the engine's weak power, oil leaks, and valve issues undermined this goal and became an unfortunate legacy of the model. The 1947 Kaiser Fraser serves as a reminder of the complexities involved in automotive design and marketing. Number 7, 1946 Dodge Wayfair. 1946 Dodge Wayfair was Dodge's entry-level offering, meant to be a simple, affordable car suitable for post-World War II families. Its 230 cubic inch, 3.8-liter, flathead inline-six engine was designed for reliability over speed, making it popular among budget-conscious buyers who prioritize simplicity. However, despite its sturdy build, the engine quickly gained a reputation for sluggish acceleration, frequent valve issues, and overheating, limiting the Wayfair's appeal as a daily driver. After World War II, Dodge and other automakers re-entered the market by releasing models based on pre-war designs. The Wayfair was one such vehicle, a compact and practical car that filled the entry-level niche. Dodge marketed the Wayfair to families needing reliable, no-frills transportation. It promised straightforward, dependable performance without the complexity or high price tags of more luxurious models. The flathead inline-six engine design, though outdated by this time, was easy to produce and maintain, fitting Dodge's goal of offering an accessible vehicle for mass consumption. The 230 cubic inch flathead inline-six was a simple, low-compression engine, known for being inexpensive to repair. Its flathead design, with the valves positioned in the block rather than the cylinder head, was a reliable approach but had inherent limitations in efficiency and cooling. This engine produced around 95 horsepower, which was modest even by 1940 standards. Designed for slow, steady driving rather than quick acceleration, it suited the Wayfair's role as a basic commuter, but struggled to meet modern driving demands. With its simple design, Dodge's inline-six was intended to be a durable workhorse. However, design trade-offs impacted its performance, particularly in terms of acceleration, valve durability, and cooling efficiency. With only 95 horsepower, the 230 flathead struggled to provide adequate acceleration. This was particularly noticeable in situations requiring more power, such as highway driving or carrying multiple passengers. Owners often reported that the Wayfair was slow to accelerate and unresponsive on inclines. This sluggishness made it difficult to merge onto highways, maintain speed, or navigate hilly terrain, frustrating drivers accustomed to even slightly more powerful engines. While acceptable for small towns or rural areas where speeds were lower, the Wayfair's underpowered engine became a significant drawback for drivers who frequently commuted through busier areas with higher speed limits. One of the most common complaints about the 230 inline-six was its frequent valve issues. The flathead design placed a lot of heat strain on the valves, leading to premature wear, which required regular adjustments and tune-ups. Valve adjustments were a time-intensive process that required regular trips to the mechanic. For owners who depended on the Wayfair as a daily driver, the ongoing maintenance costs added up and diminished the car's overall value. These issues made the Wayfair less reliable over time. Drivers who could not afford the regular maintenance often found themselves dealing with a decline in performance and increased repair costs. The flathead design was prone to cooling inefficiencies. With the valves located in the block rather than the head, the engine experienced hot spots that standard cooling systems struggled to manage effectively, especially during warmer weather or prolonged drives. The overheating issue was a common complaint among owners, making the car difficult to use in areas with hot climates or in stop-and-go traffic where the engine couldn't cool efficiently. Prolonged overheating led to further issues with engine wear, shortening its overall lifespan. To mitigate the risk of overheating, drivers were advised to flush the cooling system frequently and check coolant levels often. These tasks, while simple, added to the car's upkeep and deterred buyers seeking low-maintenance vehicles. The 1946 Dodge Wayfair and its 230 flathead inline-six reflect the struggles automakers faced in adapting to post-war consumer expectations. Dodge's reliance on an outdated engine design illustrates the need for balancing engineering simplicity with practical performance and durability. The Wayfair's issues reinforced the importance of continued innovation, especially as American roads grew busier and speeds increased. Dodge later adapted, improving their engines and moving away from flathead designs. But the Wayfarer serves as a historical lesson in the importance of addressing engineering shortcomings. The 1946 Dodge Wayfarer remains a noteworthy example of post-war automotive challenges, with an engine that, while reliable in theory, ultimately failed to meet the demands of its time. Frequent valve issues, sluggish acceleration. Number 6. 1940 Chevrolet Master Deluxe. 1940 Chevrolet Master Deluxe represented Chevrolet's push toward mainstream, affordable cars for American families. At its heart was the 216 cubic inch 3.5-liter inline-six engine, which, while innovative in its day, brought a mix of benefits and challenges. This engine was notorious for its splash lubrication system, a design choice that contributed to premature engine wear, chronic oil leaks, and frequent stalling. Despite its reliability in certain respects, these issues severely impacted the Master Deluxe's reputation for durability. The Master Deluxe was a popular model positioned to appeal to buyers looking for affordable, sturdy transportation with some flair. Its styling and features reflected the era's automotive trends, with a focus on a streamlined look and roomy interior. Chevrolet marketed the Master Deluxe as an everyday car for the growing middle class. It offered more space and comfort than the most basic models, yet at a price that was accessible to families looking for value. The Master Deluxe aimed to balance affordability with a reliable driving experience. The 216 inline-six engine was key to this vision, but fell short in performance and longevity due to its lubrication design. Unlike pressurized oil systems found in more modern engines, the 216 inline-six relied on a splash lubrication system. In this setup, oil would be splashed onto moving parts, such as the crankshaft and connecting rods, instead of being forced through pressurized channels. This system was cheaper to manufacture and maintain initially, which was appealing for a budget-friendly model. However, it came at a high cost to reliability, as splash lubrication didn't evenly distribute oil under all conditions, leading to poor lubrication in critical areas. The 216th produced about 85 horsepower. While modest, this power output was suitable for the era's driving needs. However, the engine struggled under heavy loads or prolonged use, which compounded issues with durability. The splash system worked adequately at low speeds, but struggled to lubricate the engine during higher speed or long-distance driving. This caused uneven wear and contributed to the engine's relatively short lifespan, as parts would wear out quickly without proper lubrication. Without efficient lubrication, the engine parts experienced more friction, leading to heat buildup. This increased the likelihood of mechanical breakdowns, especially in hot weather or under heavy use. The inconsistent lubrication left certain parts, like bearings and pistons, without adequate oil coverage. This resulted in premature wear, particularly on the connecting rod bearings, which were a common point of failure. The Master Deluxe engine often didn't last as long as other engines of the era. Owners frequently had to overhaul or replace major components, which was costly and frustrating for a budget-focused buyer base. For drivers in rural or suburban areas who needed reliable transportation over longer distances, the splash system was particularly disappointing. Longer drives exacerbated wear and highlighted the system's limitations. The engine was prone to oil leaks, which stemmed from weak seals and gaskets that couldn't withstand the Celsius pressure variations and heat produced by the splash lubrication system. Frequent oil leaks led to more frequent oil refills and a generally messy engine bay, which frustrated owners. This issue compounded maintenance demands, making the car more costly to maintain over time. While not a major concern in the 1940s, oil leaks contributed to environmental waste, with frequent leaks leaving oil spots wherever the vehicle was parked. This issue tarnished the Master Deluxe's image for owners seeking clean and convenient transportation. The splash lubrication system also impacted fuel delivery, as it did not effectively circulate oil when the engine idled for too long. This led to carburetor issues, which often caused stalling, particularly in stop-and-go traffic. These stalling issues made the Master Deluxe frustrating to drive, particularly in urban settings where frequent stops were necessary. The engine's tendency to cut out during idle impacted its reliability and lowered customer satisfaction. Chevrolet's reputation as a reliable brand was somewhat tainted by these stalling issues, as the Master Deluxe did not deliver on the promise of consistent performance without costly repairs. The 1940 Chevrolet Master Deluxe may have represented affordable innovation, but the limitations of its 216 inline-six engine with splash lubrication left a lasting impact on Chevrolet's development strategy. Problems with premature engine wear, chronic oil leaks, and frequent stalling proved that affordability cannot come at the expense of reliability. This model's legacy continues to inform automotive engineering, reminding manufacturers of the importance of durability and performance, even in budget-oriented vehicles. Number 5. 1946 Packard Clipper 8. 1946 Packard Clipper 8 was part of Packard's re-entry into the post-war automotive market, aiming to capture consumers with its distinctive design and prestigious reputation. Powered by a 282 cubic inch, 4.6-liter inline-8 engine, the Clipper 8 was intended to combine performance with luxury. However, this engine faced significant reliability issues, particularly with the carburetor, fuel pump, and cooling system. These problems led to frequent overheating and fuel delivery issues, which undermined Packard's status and disappointed buyers seeking reliable, high-end performance. After World War II, American automakers like Packard were eager to return to civilian vehicle production. The Clipper 8 was Packard's attempt to blend pre-war luxury with the demands of the post-war market. Positioned as a premium sedan, the Clipper 8 appealed to affluent buyers looking for elegance and refinement. Its reputation for sophistication, however, was marred by persistent mechanical issues that contradicted Packard's image of quality. The 2.8 inline was a substantial engine by the standards of the time, designed to deliver smooth power. Unfortunately, weaknesses in the fuel system and cooling apparatus led to costly and frustrating repairs for many owners. The inline-8 design was chosen for its balance and smooth operation, theoretically ideal for a luxury vehicle. However, this engine was heavier and less efficient than comparable V8s, placing additional strain on key components. The 282 offered respectable horsepower for a luxury car in the late 1940s. However, the car's weight, coupled with a cooling system prone to failure, meant that this power wasn't always reliable or consistent. The Clipper 8 frequently experienced carburetor problems, affecting both fuel delivery and engine smoothness. The carburetor was prone to clogging, which caused the engine to run rich or stall unexpectedly, especially at lower speeds or during idle. In addition to carburetor issues, the fuel pump was another weak point. The pump struggled to provide consistent fuel pressure, leading to stalling or rough engine performance. These problems were exacerbated in hot weather, where fuel vapor lock was also a concern. The 2.8 inline-8 struggled to manage its heat, especially on hot days or during prolonged use. The cooling system was insufficient for the engine's needs, leading to frequent overheating, which could damage engine components and further reduce reliability. Overheating accelerated wear and tear on the engine, particularly on gaskets and seals. Regular overheating incidents forced many owners into repeated repairs, adding to the car's overall maintenance costs. The carburetor's inability to maintain a proper fuel-air mixture led to uneven performance and decreased fuel efficiency. Drivers often found themselves dealing with engine backfires, stalling, or rough idling. In a luxury car like the Clipper, a smooth and refined drive was expected. Unfortunately, the carburetor and fuel pump issues created an unpredictable driving experience. detracting from the elegance that Packard buyers sought. To maintain performance, owners had to frequently clean and adjust the carburetor and fuel pump. This frequent need for maintenance frustrated owners who expected a dependable luxury car. The Packard's cooling system struggled to keep up with the 282's heat output, leading to recurrent overheating, particularly during the summer. This issue wasn't just inconvenient, it could also lead to more serious engine damage. Some of the Clipper's cooling problems stem from an inadequate radiator and thermostat setup, which failed to regulate engine temperature effectively. Over time, these components became prone to leaks and blockages, further hindering cooling performance. For a luxury model, the frequent cooling repairs were particularly disappointing. Overheating often necessitated costly replacements of hoses, gaskets, and other components damaged by high temperatures. The 1946 Packard Clipper 8 embodied the ambition and elegance that defined post-war American luxury automobiles. However, its 282 inline-8 engine revealed key engineering flaws that hampered its success. With persistent carburetor, fuel pump, and cooling issues, the Clipper 8 offered an inconsistent driving experience that tarnished Packard's image. Today, the Clipper 8 stands as a classic symbol of Packard's once great legacy, but also as a case study in the importance of engineering reliability in luxury vehicles. Number 4. 1949 Lincoln Cosmopolitan. 1949. Lincoln Cosmopolitan marked a significant step in post-war automotive design and engineering, showcasing Lincoln's ambitions in the luxury market. At the heart of this luxury sedan was a 337 cubic inch, 5.5-liter flathead V8, an engine developed to offer smooth power and performance suitable for a high-end vehicle. However, the engine faced major issues, particularly with overheating, frequent carburetor adjustments, poor fuel efficiency, and chronic oil leaks. These issues hampered the Cosmopolitan's promise of luxury and led to frustration among its owners, impacting Lincoln's reputation as a premium brand. The Cosmopolitan's design was intended to set it apart in the luxury market, with features like a distinctive bathtub body style, large dimensions, and upscale interiors. Lincoln hoped to capitalize on a growing post-war market of consumers seeking sophisticated and spacious vehicles. The Cosmopolitan targeted affluent buyers interested in the latest automotive advancements. Its sleek style and sizable V8 promised comfort and power, but recurring reliability issues ultimately made the car a tough sell in the competitive luxury space. The flathead V8 design allowed for a lower center of gravity and a compact head design, appealing from a packaging perspective. However, the flathead architecture was outdated by 1949, especially as more efficient overhead valve engines began to emerge. While the 337 flathead V8 was powerful for its time, providing decent horsepower, its efficiency and reliability fell short. This power came at the cost of high fuel consumption, and the design didn't support consistent cooling, which was critical given the car's size and weight. The flathead V8's carburetor required precise adjustments to function correctly. Any deviations in tuning could cause the engine to run rich or lean, impacting performance and fuel economy. Many owners found themselves frequently adjusting the carburetor, adding to maintenance demands. This sensitivity in the carburetor led to erratic performance, particularly at low speeds or idling. Drivers often experience poor throttle response, stalling, and uneven acceleration, making the Cosmopolitan feel inconsistent for a luxury car. The flathead design was less effective at dissipating heat, especially in the large 337 cubic inch configuration. This design flaw meant the Cosmopolitan was prone to overheating, particularly on long drives or in warm weather. For city driving, the overheating problem was even more pronounced, as stop-and-go conditions didn't allow for proper airflow. The cooling system's limitations were a constant issue, detracting from the car's reliability and requiring frequent coolant checks and top-ups. The 337 cubic inch V8 was a thirsty engine, consuming far more fuel than some competitors' engines. For luxury buyers, this inefficiency meant frequent trips to the gas station, which became costly over time. The car's fuel inefficiency was more than just an inconvenience. It significantly raised operating costs, making the Cosmopolitan an expensive choice. This inefficiency discouraged potential buyers and left current owners frustrated by the car's high cost of operation. The Cosmopolitan's V8 engine had a tendency to leak oil, often from valve covers and gaskets. These leaks contributed to both environmental and financial costs, as oil had to be replenished frequently, and repairs were both costly and time-consuming. These chronic oil leaks added another layer of maintenance requirements for owners, who had to deal with constant monitoring and oil top-offs. The inconvenience of frequent repairs and maintenance detracted from the luxury experience Lincoln intended to provide. The flathead V8 in the Cosmopolitan was among the last of its kind in the luxury market, as it highlighted the limitations of flathead engines in managing heat and fuel efficiently. Following the Cosmopolitan, overhead valve OHV designs became the industry standard for V8 engines due to their greater efficiency and reliability. The overheating issues with the Cosmopolitan underscored the need for effective cooling systems, particularly in large luxury cars. Automakers began investing more in designing robust cooling systems, and better radiator designs and fan systems became standard. The Cosmopolitan's engine issues tarnished Lincoln's reputation as a premium brand. While the car showcased ambitious styling, the reliability problems associated with its flathead V8 made Lincoln less competitive against brands with more reliable and modern engineering. Today, the 1949 Lincoln Cosmopolitan is often remembered as a stylish but flawed model. Number 3. 1935 Chrysler Airflow. 1935 Chrysler Airflow was a groundbreaking car in automotive history, known for its aerodynamic design and ambitious engineering. With its 241 cubic inch, 4.0-liter, inline-8 engine, Chrysler aimed to combine power with innovation in a vehicle that broke away from traditional design norms. However, despite its revolutionary exterior, the Airflow faced serious mechanical setbacks under the hood. This inline-8 engine struggled with underwhelming power, poor fuel efficiency, carburetor clogging issues, and persistent overheating problems, which turned the Airflow into a maintenance challenge rather than a technological marvel. The Airflow was designed with aerodynamics in mind, an uncommon focus for the 1930s. Chrysler engineers believed that reducing air resistance would improve fuel efficiency and enhance the vehicle's stability at high speeds. The car's design involved pushing the engine further forward and creating a unibody structure, aiming for better weight distribution. However, these advancements came with challenges in both design and mechanical function. The Airflow was meant to appeal to forward-thinking buyers who valued technological progress and style. Its futuristic look and promise of high-speed stability attracted initial attention, but also made it a polarizing vehicle among traditional consumers. The 241 inline-8 engine was designed to provide smooth power delivery, capitalizing on the long-stroke, multi-cylinder configuration. While the concept of an inline-8 suggested durability, the engine was insufficiently powerful given the Airflow's weight, making it difficult for the car to reach and maintain highway speeds. With a vehicle as large and heavy as the Airflow, the 241 inline-8 fell short of delivering sufficient horsepower and torque. Its lackluster acceleration disappointed drivers, especially given the car's premium positioning and futuristic promise. Despite the aerodynamic benefits of the Airflow's design, the heavy body and underpowered engine negated much of this efficiency. The inline-8 consumed fuel at a high rate, an unwelcome characteristic in a car marketed as forward-thinking. For Airflow owners, the high fuel consumption increased running costs, making the car expensive to operate. This factor, combined with the car's other reliability issues, added to the overall ownership burden. The carburetor used in the 241 inline-8 was particularly susceptible to clogging, especially if maintenance schedules weren't followed strictly. Dust and debris could easily affect the fuel intake, leading to inefficient combustion and reduced performance. When clogged, the carburetor caused inconsistent engine performance, often resulting in stalling, poor throttle response, and reduced power output. For owners, this issue meant frequent carburetor cleaning or even replacement, increasing maintenance costs and frustration. The Airflow's cooling system was inadequate for the demands of the inline-8 engine, especially in the car's tightly packed engine bay. The engine struggled to dissipate heat effectively, leading to frequent overheating, especially in warm climates or during extended drives. Overheating was more than just an occasional inconvenience. It led to premature wear on engine components. Gaskets, seals, and other engine parts wore down quickly under repeated overheating, resulting in expensive repairs and reduced engine life. One of the Airflow's most significant design flaws was its power-to-weight ratio. The inline-8 simply couldn't provide the acceleration or top-end performance necessary to move such a large car smoothly, leading to sluggish acceleration and limited high-speed capabilities. This lack of power became a major issue for buyers expecting a modern, high-performance car. The poor power output, paired with the Airflow's heavy body, made for a disappointing driving experience that ultimately alienated many consumers. The 1935 Chrysler Airflow was a revolutionary vehicle with a groundbreaking design and a bold vision for the future of automotive engineering. However, the 241 cubic inch inline-8 engine could not keep pace with this vision. The engine's underwhelming power, poor fuel efficiency, carburetor issues, and frequent overheating made the Airflow a challenging car to own and maintain, ultimately preventing it from becoming the commercial success Chrysler had hoped for. Though the Airflow's story is one of ambitious engineering falling short, it provided the industry with critical lessons in balancing design innovation with reliable performance, a legacy that continues to inform automotive design today. Number 2, 1935 Chevrolet Standard. 1935 Chevrolet Standard was introduced as an affordable option for everyday consumers, aiming to blend practicality with Chevrolet's reputation for durability. Its 206 cubic inch, 3.4-liter inline-6 engine was central to the car's promise of dependable performance. Unfortunately, this engine encountered several problems that plagued owners and hindered the Standard's ability to fully deliver on Chevrolet's brand expectations. Underpowered performance, poor compression, oil leaks, high fuel consumption, carburetor issues, and poor cold start reliability all combined to make this car an ongoing maintenance challenge rather than a truly budget-friendly choice. Chevrolet aimed the Standard at families and individuals looking for affordable, dependable transportation during a time when economic recovery was a priority. By providing a car that was accessible in price, Chevrolet hoped to capture a broad market. The Standard was positioned below the master model, meaning it had fewer features and a less powerful engine. This placed it in direct competition with other economical cars of the time, which intensified expectations for quality at a reasonable cost. The Standard's design emphasized cost-effectiveness, but this goal also led to certain engineering compromises, particularly in the engine. Unfortunately, the resulting mechanical problems made it less appealing over time and expensive to maintain. The inline-6 setup was intended to provide a smooth, balanced performance. However, the 206 was not powerful enough to provide the necessary acceleration or torque, leaving drivers with a sluggish response. Poor compression plagued this engine, leading to weak combustion and reduced power output. As a result, the engine struggled to meet the power demands of even basic driving tasks, especially on inclines or under heavier loads. With an underpowered engine, the Chevrolet Standard failed to meet driver expectations for acceleration. The engine's small size and low power output meant that drivers had to push it harder, which put additional stress on the components. The 206 inline-6 suffered from inefficient fuel use, an unwelcome surprise in a budget-friendly car. Frequent stops for refueling added to the cost of ownership and made the Standard less economical than intended. The engine was known for oil leaks stemming from unreliable seals, particularly in the valve cover gaskets and around the oil pan. These leaks required constant vigilance and frequent gasket replacements. For owners, dealing with oil leaks meant not only increased maintenance costs, but also the constant risk of running the engine with low oil levels, which could lead to more severe wear or damage. The carburetor used in the 206 engine was prone to clogging and required regular adjustments. Many owners reported inconsistent engine performance due to carburetor issues, including rough idling, stalling, and poor throttle response. The carburetor's poor reliability increased the need for tune-ups, a task that could become costly over time. Carburetor malfunctions were especially inconvenient during cold weather, when engines typically required more precise fuel-air mixtures to start reliably. The 206 inline-six was notorious for difficult cold starts. Poor compression and carburetor issues exacerbated the problem, often leading to multiple attempts to start the car in low temperatures. Cold start problems created frustration for owners who relied on the Standard for daily transportation. Especially in northern climates, the Standard's cold start difficulties limited its appeal as a dependable all-weather vehicle. The 1935 Chevrolet Standard aimed to offer affordable transportation, but was let down by its 206 cubic inch inline-six engine. Despite Chevrolet's intentions, the Standard became associated with a series of mechanical challenges, including underpowered performance, poor compression, oil leaks, high fuel consumption, carburetor problems, and difficult cold starts. These issues impacted the car's reliability and affordability, creating frustration for owners and detracting from the Standard's appeal as an economical choice. Nevertheless, the Chevrolet Standard remains an important lesson in automotive history, illustrating the importance of engineering balance between affordability and quality, a lesson that has since guided Chevrolet's enduring commitment to reliable performance. Number 1. 1935 Plymouth Business Coupe. 1935 Plymouth Business Coupe represented a practical and affordable choice for professionals and small business owners who needed reliable transportation for work. Powered by a 217 cubic inch 3.6-liter inline-six engine, the Business Coupe was marketed as a durable, no-nonsense vehicle. However, the engine struggled to meet expectations due to a variety of issues, including poor lubrication, frequent overheating, carburetor malfunctions, and sluggish performance. These mechanical shortcomings often made the car less reliable, especially in demanding conditions, affecting its overall appeal. Plymouth designed the Business Coupe with the working professional in mind. It was aimed at small business owners, salesmen, and delivery drivers who needed a reliable, cost-effective vehicle to support their work. The Business Coupe was stripped of many luxury features in favor of simplicity and affordability, which was in line with the needs of its target market. The emphasis was on function over form, providing buyers with basic transportation at an accessible price. In its efforts to keep costs down, Plymouth utilized an engine design that was already dated by 1935 standards. This choice led to several persistent issues that made the Business Coupe less suitable for regular or heavy-duty use. The 217 inline-six was based on a flathead engine design, which was simple and cost-effective, but limited in performance. Flathead engines tended to suffer from poor airflow, leading to inefficiencies in combustion and limited power output. With only modest power, the engine struggled to provide adequate acceleration, particularly when driving on inclines or when carrying a full load. This lack of torque made the car feel sluggish, which was a significant drawback for professionals who needed reliable power. One of the engine's primary issues was inadequate lubrication, a frequent problem in early flathead designs. The limited oil circulation led to premature wear on engine components, particularly in the camshaft and valve train. Owners were often forced to perform regular oil changes and lubrication maintenance to keep the engine running smoothly. Despite these efforts, many drivers still experienced engine wear, increasing the long-term cost of ownership. Overheating was another frequent issue, particularly during warmer months or in stop-and-go traffic. The cooling system struggled to keep up with the heat generated by the engine, which led to frequent breakdowns. Overheating not only disrupted driving, but also increased wear on the engine, potentially leading to warped components or blown gaskets. These overheating episodes required expensive repairs, further impacting the vehicle's appeal as an affordable option. The carburetor in the 217 engine was prone to clogging due to impurities in the fuel. This issue forced owners to regularly clean or adjust the carburetor to maintain consistent performance. Carburetor malfunctions led to poor fuel-air mixing, which in turn reduced fuel efficiency. Drivers often reported issues like rough idling, stalling, or backfiring, all of which made the car challenging to operate smoothly. Because of frequent carburetor issues, the engine often delivered erratic performance. For business owners relying on the vehicle for deliveries or long commutes, this inconsistency made the Business Coupe less reliable. Cleaning and tuning the carburetor, became a common task for business coupe owners, adding to the overall maintenance burden. The additional maintenance needs detracted from the car's reputation as an economical choice. The 1935 Plymouth business coupe had the potential to be a reliable and economical vehicle for professionals, but it fell short due to the limitations of its 217 cubic inch inline-six engine. Issues with poor lubrication, frequent overheating, carburetor malfunctions, and sluggish performance made the engine less dependable and increased maintenance costs, reducing the car's appeal. Despite its affordability, the high operational costs and unreliability hindered its acceptance among its intended audience. However, the lessons learned from the business coupe's challenges influenced future Plymouth designs, underscoring the importance of engineering reliability in even the most cost-effective vehicles.